terrifying evil king chieftain, was actually so scared by an old man that he almost wet himself. He even started his fastest speed ever and ran for his life. When Lu Zhou was dealing with the fish dragon village, he decided to immediately head to the green jade altar. He waved and called out, "Yuaner." Yuaner happily responded and flew onto Baiyan's back. Following Lu Zhou's command, Baiyan soared into the sky in an instant. Ming Shirin, seeing that his master was leaving, hastily shouted, "Master, what about us?" He thought the master would call Whitesword for them to ride, but Lu Zhou pointed at Ding Fanqiu and said, "Take him, fly on your own." Hearing this, they were stunned for a few seconds before responding, "Disciple obeys. Disciple will fly with all his might." Duan Mushing noticed Ming Shirin looking at him with bad intentions, so he shook his head and said, "Don't look at me, I have to fly too." Upon hearing this, Ming Shirin showed an innocent smile. "Third senior brother, I didn't mean it like that. Your power and cultivation are deeper and you fly faster. So, senior brother, you take this guy, so I don't slow down master with my slower speed." Duan Mushing, after hearing this, rubbed his chin, thinking it made sense. "You hold my overlord spear for me." Having said that, he took Ding Fanqiu and leaped into the sky. The overlord spear weighed several hundred kilograms at least. Ming Shirin, taking it, immediately regretted it. "Junior brother, what are you staring at?" "It's fine, I'm coming." Ming Shirin murmured and hurriedly followed. "It's a loss. Better to have taken Ding Fanqiu." Two rainbows flashed across the sky above. Below, Elephant King also started walking. Without looking back, he dove into the jungle. Elephant King, don't leave behind. Only Ding Fanqiu's two disciples, who lost their ability to resist, remained. Then, the witchcraft traps on the river's surface swiftly swept through the entire port. Baiyan, like a meteor, streaked across the sky. Yuaner asked if they should wait. Lu Zhou shook his head, indicating there was no need. Baiyan's speed to get to the green jade altar is at most 2 hours. This time can be used to organize the cards in hand to deal with potential situations. With a thought, Lu Zhou opened the panel, found that he had 4,812 merit points in total, then checked the item column. He saw that the price of the deadly strike had become 600. Lu Zhou couldn't help but snort. How is this possible? Yuaner, seeing him frowning and glaring, was a bit puzzled. "Master, what happened? Who angered Master? I will bring him here and tear him apart." Lu Zhou waved his hand and regained his calm. "The price of the deadly strike has risen, but the price of impervious remains 500. From this, it can be seen prices probably fluctuate with usage. Perhaps the system thinks this card is too overpowered, so there are such restrictions. He hadn't used it much before, so the price didn't rise. Such a powerful tool card. It's not as simple as imagined. After all, there can't be such a glaring loophole. If it was always priced at 500 points, then just with the deadly strike card, one could kill all experts of the nascent divinity tribulation realm. However, thankfully the price increase isn't too much and is acceptable. This also urges me not to over-rely on tool cards. I must quickly enhance my own strength. I should get another deadly strike card as backup. In the future, I need to be more careful when using the deadly strike. With this calculation, I might be able to use those defensive cards in the future. Thinking about this, he began to scroll through the panel. He surprisingly found new cards in the tool column. Absolute healing. Using this card can heal 30% of injuries. Price, 300 merit points. Thunder Seal. When using this card, activate the Thunder Seal aura. 50% chance to hit the target, 30% chance to wound the target, 10% chance to severely wound the target, 1% chance to kill the target. Price, 100 merit points. After reading, Lu Zhou helplessly shook his head. These are all pretty useless cards. As for the second one, it's even more ridiculous. A 1% chance of killing is nowhere near as good as the deadly strike. From the pattern of the system-provided tool cards, the later ones seem more and more useless. Apart from buying the avatar, it seems better to gamble, but now is not the time for that. At this moment, Yuaner reminded, "Master, we're approaching the green jade altar." Lu Zhou immediately gave the command to head east. Yuaner was curious. "Why are we heading east?" Lu Zhou coldly said, "If the traitor Zhu Honghong is lying in ambush here, I will take care of him on the way." Upon hearing this, Yuaner flexed his arm. "I will teach this traitor a lesson for Master." Old Eight's forces are mostly low-level practitioners and ordinary people. To siege the green jade altar, they have to be smart. Judging his intelligence, he's overrated. So, there must be guidance from Siwuya behind this. The green jade altar is located on high ground and isolated, so fire attack is the best strategy. The forest to the east is the place to set the fire. Baiyan's speed is fast. In no time, they arrived at the eastern side of the green jade altar. Below the forest, it's chaotic. A group of people are fighting. Lu Zhou observed that they are all low-level fights. Their killing power is limited. He guessed that this traitor's plan must have been discovered. Seeing the situation, Yuaner hastily shouted, "Master, let's go down. I want to fight too. You're out of line." Lu Zhou couldn't help but reprimand her. "I've been spoiling her too much recently. She's becoming increasingly unruly. I realize my mistake." Yuaner immediately behaved more obediently after the scolding. Lu Zhou instructed Baiyan to keep moving. At this moment, one figures flew past them at a low altitude. At a glance, Lu Zhou recognized the one in the lead as the 8th disciple of the Heavenly Demon Pavilion, Zhu Honghong. Traitor, he shouted and used a binding cage card. Oh my god, it's Master. Zhu Honghong was scared out of his wits upon seeing this. A huge golden net descended rapidly. A terrified Zhu Honghong tried to flee for his life. This is bad, he thought. He never imagined he would run into his master at the green jade altar. Traitor, with Lu Zhou's loud shout, a giant golden net in the sky pursued. The cultivators fighting below were all stunned by the scene. Lu Zhou nodded in satisfaction. It seems I triggered the probability. I'm quite lucky. Maybe I should draw a prize first. Hearing the master's murmurs, little Yuaner curiously asked, Master, what are you going to draw? Lu Zhou didn't answer her. His attention was all on Zhu Honghong. But in the next second, the stunning golden net suddenly disappeared. The cultivators who witnessed this were collectively dumbfounded. Lu Zhou frowned. That card cost 200 merit points and just went down the drain. Should I try another one? What if it doesn't work again? The tool card only has a 30% chance. If it's all wasted, wouldn't that be a big loss? Zhu Honghong, still in shock, hurriedly fled, thinking, did Master intentionally let me go? I should escape while I can. His figure dashed like lightning, crossing several mountains in one breath. His speed was almost comparable to that of someone in the nascent divinity tribulation realm. Lu Zhou was a bit hesitant. With his legendary Mount Bayan, he could catch up if he pursued, but to catch Old Eighth, he'd have to use a tool card. Although little Yuaner was strong, she was a bit inferior compared to Old Eighth. Plus, the situation didn't look right. He might need her to protect him. Capturing Old Eighth wouldn't be too difficult anyway. Forget it, I'll catch him later. This traitor is lucky this time. When I capture him in the future, I'll try drawing a prize then. Seeing the situation, little Yuaner quickly called out, Master, hurry, he's getting away. The traitor is escaping. Lu Zhou shook his head, signaling it was okay. I have other matters to attend to. Before he could finish his sentence, a voice calling out Grandmaster reached his ears. Following the sound, he surprisingly recognized the person. It was Duan Xing from the demon-slaying sect he had met at the Runan sacred altar. Younger generation Duan Xing pays his respects to the Grandmaster. Duan Xing greeted. It seemed strange for someone from the demonic path to appear at the green jade altar, a bit out of place. Lu Zhou calmly asked, the demon-slaying sect has always been at odds with the righteous path. Why are you here? Duan Xing respectfully replied, our sect leader is here to discuss with sect leader Zhang about joining forces against the demonic heads. I am just accompanying him. I didn't expect to have the fortune to meet the Grandmaster here. By this time, the battles below had started to subside, with many cultivators withdrawing like a receding tide. Lu Zhou, puzzled, asked what had happened. Duan Xing paused for a moment before responding. The demon-slaying sect's visit here was supposed to be a secret. We wanted to avoid drawing attention, and we were cautious all the way. However, we didn't expect our movements to be leaked. Zhu Honghong's actions have made this common knowledge. It seems there's no point in hiding it now. He then truthfully explained how their movements had been exposed and how the evil king had instigated and lured many from the righteous path to attack the demon-slaying sect. The evil king even deliberately revealed his location to attract more righteous cultivators, leading to heavy casualties. Lu Zhou nodded, grasping the situation. Old Eighth wouldn't have the brains for this. No need to say it. This is definitely another one of Old Seventh's, Shiruya's schemes. Duan Xing hesitated for a moment before asking, Grandmaster, why didn't you capture the evil king just now? Capturing him could clear our sect's name. Lu Zhou looked puzzled. Duan Xing gave an embarrassed smile. Our demon-slaying sect is already considered part of the demonic path. Now, by associating with Orthodox Taoism, aren't we inviting ridicule? Capturing this evil king would be a great merit. All the attention of the righteous path would then focus on the evil king. Lu Zhou replied with a calm demeanor, you've calculated this well. Demonic path capturing another from the demonic path, a thief shouting to catch a thief. How interesting. Hearing this, Duan Xing hastily defended, Grandmaster, the evil sky pavilion once killed the second head of our demon-slaying sect. Capturing the evil king would only make us even. It's not about a thief shouting to catch a thief. Little Yuaner, upon hearing this, pointed at him with a cold face. You are the thief. Under normal circumstances, if Duan Xing was insulted to his face, he would probably be furious. But with the Grandmaster present, he couldn't make a scene and could only force a smile. You're right. Whatever you say is right. However, Duan Xing was known to be sensible and wasn't like those hypocrites who were annoying. He asked, may I inquire the purpose of the Grandmaster's visit to the Green Jade Altar? Upon hearing his words, Lu Zhou countered, where's Hua Wudao? Duan Xing looked somewhat surprised. Hua Wudao, the elder of the Cloud Sect, one of the three major sects of Yuntian Luo, he's here too. Lu Zhou raised an eyebrow. You mean to say, the demon-slaying sect wasn't aware of this? Duan Xing replied, I just accompanied our sect leader for some work, and I wasn't informed about this. With the commotion caused by the evil king, our sect leader has already left. Hearing this, Lu Zhou shook his head in resignation. This traitor really knows how to spoil my plans. He then ordered Bayan to fly towards the Green Jade Altar. Meanwhile, far from the Green Jade Altar in a secluded corner of the jungle, Old Eighth sat on the ground panting heavily. How could the master be here? This is not a game. After calming down, he looked around in the jungle mournfully. Seventh junior brother, why don't you come out? As soon as he spoke, Old Seventh Siwuya appeared behind him in a flash. It was unexpected for me too that the master would show up at the green jade altar. I don't care, you plan this. I want compensation. Siwaya chuckled and replied, alright, it's my fault. The annual expenses of your Tiger Ridge gang will be covered by the dark net. Upon hearing this, Zhu Honghong felt much relieved. 7th senior brother. After all our efforts, why did we stage all this? Siwaya explained, we can't let demon-slaying sect collude with orthodox Taoism as they wish. The true strength of the demon-slaying sect is unknown, and there are few in the world who can subdue them. Eldest senior brother always keeps a low profile and won't leave the mountain. 2nd senior brother is elusive, and we can't count on other experts. Zhu Honghong wondered. 2nd senior brother likes challenging strong opponents. Why not let him try? Siwaya shook his head. Most of the people I sent couldn't last 3 days and were scared off by 2nd senior brother. Moreover, 2nd senior brother has been somewhat angered by the matter with Fan Xiuwen. Sighing, Zhu Honghong said, 2nd senior brother is usually humble and polite. If even he gets angry, let's forget about it. Siwaya looked towards the direction of the green jade altar, his eyes deep in thought. It was unexpected for the master to appear here, but the plan is mostly accomplished. Notify your people to retreat. After Lu Zhou arrived, I started analyzing. The master might have intentions to spare you. Zhu Honghong nodded. I felt it too. It was really terrifying. Siwaya slowly stood up. Given the master's nature, he wouldn't easily let you go. I suspect there's a skilled person assisting him by his side. Old 8th pondered for a moment and then furrowed his brows again. Who said anything about a skilled person? It's just our junior sister who's fierce and almost jumped down to bite me. Realizing it was futile to argue with someone so obtuse, he called out and left the place. As he was leaving, he casually flicked the peacock feather in his hand. In an instant, several concealed weapons shot towards a large tree. These weapons shined brilliantly, beautiful like a peacock spreading its tail. After this act, both figures disappeared from the spot. The next moment, a master who was sneakily eavesdropping nearby froze on the spot, his once smug smile now filled with terror. Those concealed weapons had pierced through both his body and the tree. Meanwhile, inside the green jade altar, Lu Zhou, riding on Bayan, hovered above the altar. Looking down, he saw that many people were still on the vast plaza of the green jade altar. When they saw Bayan, expressions of surprise appeared on their faces. Who is that? Everyone be careful. Such audacity. Daring to barge into the green jade altar, Lu Zhou, standing atop Bayan, calmly asked, where's Hua Wudao? Though his voice wasn't loud, it was clear enough for everyone to hear. An elder from Orthodox Taoism stepped forward. The green jade altar is the sacred place for our Orthodox Taoism cultivation. Isn't it inappropriate for an old friend to come uninvited? Little Yuaner, after hearing this, pointed at the elder and snorted coldly, if I want to come, I will. Do I need an invitation from you? How boring. Lu Zhou did not order Bayan to descend immediately. After all, this was Orthodox Taoism's territory. If people found out he was the infamous demon, dangers from all directions might converge on him. He shouldn't waste his artifact cards carelessly. The path of cultivation is long. If he exhausted all his artifact cards and his cultivation didn't advance, that would be disastrous. At that moment, Duanxing arrived, hovering in the air before landing on the ground. He then greeted with a bow and introduced with a smile, everyone, this is the master I mentioned to you all, the one from the Ronin altar, who defeated Kong Xian with a single move, the venerable monk. Upon hearing his introduction, everyone was taken aback. The wariness in their eyes shifted to respect as they all exclaimed in unison, greetings, master. I am Zhang Chu, the 5th elder of Orthodox Taoism. Greetings, master. Lu Zhou nodded slightly in acknowledgement and continued to inquire, where is Zhang Yuanshan? 5th elder Zhang Chu bowed and replied, we had esteemed guests at the green jade altar, but were interrupted by the evil king of the evil sky pavilion, so they left together. Would the master consider staying at the green jade altar until the sect leader returns? Duanxing sighed regretfully, all because of that troublemaker. It's a pity. If master had captured that evil king earlier, today's events could have been settled. Such a shame. Lu Zhou also felt the same way. If it wasn't for old 8th and old 7th causing disruptions, perhaps he would have met Zhang Yuanshan and Hua Wudao. What was more regrettable was that the cage's binding did not activate. But after all, the green jade altar was Orthodox Taoism's territory. There were also significant formations surrounding the green jade altar. To deal with Zhang Yuanshan, one must be willing to invest heavily in artifact cards. Using the cards so many times for just one person seemed wasteful. It would be better to be cautious. If things went south, he might lose his life. Not to mention, he wouldn't be able to investigate the truth behind Fish Dragon Village. Pondering this, Lu Zhou stroked his beard and asked, has Hua Wudao returned to Cloud Sect? A practitioner replied, Elder Hua has been in seclusion in Cloud Sect for years. It was hard for him to come out. He wouldn't return to Cloud Sect so quickly. Duanxing then shared his speculation. 20 years ago, Hua Wudao was defeated by Qi Tiandao of the Evil Sky Pavilion. This became his inner demon. If he doesn't confront this demon, he might find it difficult to progress further in his lifetime. Therefore, Hua Wudao might just do the unexpected, confronting his inner demon by going to the Evil Sky Pavilion. Upon hearing this, murmurs spread among the crowd. 2 decades of stagnation in his cultivation. Elder Hua is seeking trouble for himself by doing this. People have their ambitions. After 20 years, perhaps Elder Hua has some other means that we're unaware of. I recall that not long ago, the 4 Dark Knights of the God Capital's covert department went to the Evil Sky Pavilion and haven't returned yet. Considering the old demon's tactics, I fear the odds aren't in their favor, someone commented. The 5th Elder, Zhang Chu, raised his voice and scolded, "Silence. Look at yourselves, showing such a lack of spirit. Just a few discussions, and you're all this terrified. If the old demon really stood in front of you, would you die of fright?" Little Yuaner stifled her laughter. Perhaps she had become immune to such scenes. Raising her threshold for amusement, she leaned into her master's ear and whispered, "Master, they're all so scared of you." Lu Zhou gazed into the distance. By his calculations, Ming Shirin and Duan Mushing should be arriving soon. As for Hua Wudao, judging from their conversations, it seemed he would show up sooner or later. At this moment, 5th Elder Zhang Chu bowed again. "Master, our sect leader is genuinely tied up. Making someone of your stature wait is truly inexcusable." Lu Zhou didn't respond, but gave him a brief glance. He noted that this person was only at the Divine Court Realm level. A mere practitioner of the Divine Court Realm had become an elder of a reputed righteous sect. It seemed that Orthodox Taoism wasn't as glorious as it once was. Duan Xing stepped forward and gave a bow. "Everyone, the situation below the Green Jade Altar has largely been settled. Since our plan has been disrupted, shall we reconvene another day?" Zhang Chu nodded and replied, "That sounds good. Master, I have some matters to attend to and must take my leave now." As he was about to turn and leave, he was stopped by Lu Zhou. "Hold on. I have a piece of advice for Ren Buping. He should guard the demon-slaying sect well. Otherwise, he'll face certain death." Duan Xing paused for a moment, looking perplexed. Even though he didn't quite understand the meaning behind those words, he still expressed his gratitude. After Duan Xing left, Lu Zhou motioned for little Yuaner, indicating they should leave. However, a voice echoed from the crowd, "Which esteemed master has graced the Green Jade Altar with their presence? Let me have a look." Lu Zhou turned to see a familiar face from his memories. This was the man who had defeated Ming Shirin several years ago, leaving Ming Shirin battered and blue. Because of that, Ming Shirin had been despondent for a long time and had secluded himself on a mountain for intense cultivation. With years having passed, Zhang Qiuqi's skills in cultivation should have improved. Zhang Qiuqi was puzzled. "I feel like I've seen this master somewhere before. It's not surprising given that both of us are highly respected figures. But why is he ignoring me?" As Zhang Qiuqi was deep in thought, sudden shouts of alarm rose from the back of the crowd. "Someone is approaching. It's Ming Shirin, the 4th demon head of the Evil Sky Pavilion. He dares to set foot on Orthodox Taoism's territory." Following the crowd's gaze, Zhang Qiuqi's face registered surprise. With the sect leader and other elders absent, he was the only one capable of facing off against Ming Shirin. Moreover, he had once defeated Ming Shirin. This was a golden opportunity, a perfect combination of timing, location, and human factors. Lu Zhou also spotted his disciple. On the surface, he remained calm, but internally he wondered, wasn't Duan Mushing with him? Where is he? Zhang Qiuqi laughed loudly and leapt into the air, declaring, "Fortune favors me today. I shall capture this demon, and from then on, who would dare to underestimate me or Orthodox Taoism?" Seeing this, the practitioners below eagerly tried to win his favor. "With Elder Zhang taking action, capturing this demon won't be an issue. We are willing to support the elder." Zhang Qiuqi nodded in satisfaction and called out to Lu Zhou below, "Master, please take care." Lu Zhou simply waved in response, not uttering a word. After Zhang Qiuqi spoke, he excitedly flew towards the direction where Ming Shirin was heading. Watching his retreating figure, Lu Zhou stroked his beard and murmured, "Everything is determined by fate." Little Yuaner, puzzled, asked, "Master, what fate?" "The fate of Zhang Yuanshan and Hua Wudao, and the fate of your 4th senior brother." Meanwhile, the unsuspecting Ming Shirin was flying in midair. As he approached the Green Jade Altar, he changed his direction, remembering it was the territory of Orthodox Taoism. "Where is Master?" He looked around and couldn't find Lu Zhou. 3rd senior brother should be catching up soon. Without the Overlord spear to hold me back. Heh, I'm faster. Just as he was feeling smug, a loud voice boomed from behind. "Ming Shirin, you avoid the heaven's path and storm into hell." Ming Shirin's face darkened when he saw Zhang Qiuqi. "I'm not in the mood to fight today. Have you seen my master? Don't use your master's name to intimidate me. Today, I shall act as heaven's will." "Wait, seriously, have you really not seen my master?" Zhang Qiuqi drew closer, mystical symbols swirling around his hands. "If I see him, I'll kill him too." With his power surging, he unleashed multiple attacks, all aimed at Ming Shirin. Ming Shirin, with a furrowed brow, dodged continuously. "I've said I don't want to fight. You've regressed with those seals of yours." Zhang Qiuqi snorted coldly. "A defeated foe like you shouldn't be so talkative." Down below, the practitioners watched with immense excitement. Zhang Qiuqi launched a series of swift attacks on Ming Shirin. Their figures intertwined, leaving after images as their energies clashed. Ming Shirin defended while retreating, releasing waves of force to fend off Zhang Qiuqi. Zhang Chu nodded in approval, remarking, "The Elder's seals are truly impeccable. This demon won't last long." However, a thought struck him. "It's curious. I heard that the remaining disciples of the Evil Sky Pavilion were deliberately suppressed by Shi Tian now they can rival Zhang Qiuqi, who's of the nascent divinity tribulation realm. Quite surprising. Another voice chimed in. It's not surprising. Elder Zhang hasn't used his full strength yet. Let's keep watching. The seals of Taoism and those of Zen Buddhism are quite similar. Ming Shirin knows how to counter such seals, using his energy to resist. The majority of the disciples around were at the Brahma Sea realm level of cultivation. Witnessing such high-level combat was rare for them, yet they weren't worried. After all, even without Zhang Qiuqi, there was still the esteemed master nearby. Ming Shirin was constantly on the defensive. As he fought and retreated, his gaze turned colder. Old man, don't push me. Zhang Qiuqi, utterly dismissive, laughed loudly. Too weak. Deep down, Ming Shirin did have some reservations. After all, they were not far from the green jade altar. If Zhang Yuanshan and the other elders appeared, things could get difficult. Zhang Qiuqi's momentum soared, and with a single powerful slap, he sent Ming Shirin flying several meters. You're just as weak as before. Without wasting time, Ming Shirin turned to flee. In the blink of an eye, he had covered hundreds of meters, clearly using the momentum from the blow to aid his escape. If you dare, come chase me. My third senior brother and master will be here soon. Zhang Qiuqi paid no heed to these threats. He snorted and channeled his internal energy, trying to run. Too late. 100 Tribulation Insight Avatar. Great mystic arts. Within moments, he combined two powerful techniques and appeared beside Ming Shirin. His avatar, bursting with an unstoppable momentum, threw a punch. Ming Shirin, furrowing his brows, responded quickly. Old man, I knew you'd pull this move. As his words fell, his own 100 Tribulation Insight avatar manifested, blocking the powerful blow. While Zhang Qiuqi's avatar resembled a two-petaled golden lotus, Ming Shirin's avatar was smaller and hadn't unfurled its petals, making it look like the difference between a child and an adult. Their avatars' energies clashed, and in the next moment, Ming Shirin was forcibly slammed into the ground. The nearby practitioners watched with surging emotions. With Elder Zhang's two-petaled avatar, Ming Shirin is doomed. But this Ming Shirin is no pushover either. To manifest an avatar and become a nascent divinity tribulation realm practitioner is impressive. Bad luck for him to encounter Zhang Qiuqi here. It's like Zhang Qiuqi was born to be his nemesis. Little Yuan, with her wide eyes, asked, Master, aren't you going to help fourth brother? Lu Zhou spoke calmly. Ming Shirin has long been suppressed at the divine court realm. His talent is no less than that of Duan Mushing. If I were to assist him, how would he hone himself in real combat? Little Yuan replied, pointing at the practitioners on the ground. Master always thinks ahead. But master, I want to fight too, with them. Hearing this, Lu Zhou couldn't help but reprimand. Just watch and refrain from meddling. Zhang Qiuqi looked down, pleased. He believed that even if his attack didn't kill Ming Shirin, it would certainly injure him. However, as the smoke cleared, the sound of creaking came from below. Vines began to grow at a visible speed, rapidly stretching out and aiming for Zhang Qiuqi. Being a longtime adversary of Ming Shirin, Zhang Qiuqi instantly recognized this as the essence of the blue wood technique, which could channel energy to spur the growth of plants. In a forest, Ming Shirin's strength and cultivation would greatly increase. You cunning trickster, did you think that after all these years, I wouldn't have figured out a counter to the blue wood technique? Zhang Qiuqi roared. He then drew out his copper coin sword from his waist. With energy-infused copper coins, he created a protective barrier around himself. Rather than retreating, he surged forward like a ball of fire towards the dense mass of vines. Seeing this, Ming Shirin turned and fled, shouting, Old man, you're really something. I won't fight you. Zhang Qiuqi responded with a mocking smile. So the demon from Evil Sky Pavilion is nothing but talk. The practitioners below began to jeer as well. The demon from the Evil Sky Pavilion isn't as terrifying as imagined. Even demons have days when they're scared away. Lu Zhou watched, somewhat exasperated. Ming Shirin, as a disciple, has a stronger survival instinct than I thought. However, he constantly thinks of escaping rather than confronting and defeating his enemies. After a short chase, Zhang Qiuqi's patience clearly began to wane. If I let you, a demon with unopened petals, escape, where would that leave my reputation? 100 Tribulation Insight Avatar. Great mystic arts. As his voice faded, Zhang Qiuqi's figure flickered and appeared above Ming Shirin. The powerful energy instantly spread out, almost replicating his previous technique. Ming Shirin, this time unable to activate his avatar in defense, was abruptly hit by the energy wave. Suppressing the turmoil within him, he quickly descended to the ground and shouted, Come again. With that little power, you can't kill me. Zhang Qiuqi stood proudly, looking disdainfully at his opponent. You think I'll keep using the great mystic arts? You're overthinking, because your time to die is coming. As he raised his hand, a weapon slowly materialized. It was a large blade, half black and half dark red. An extremely pure energy enveloped the entire blade. The practitioners below, seeing this spectacle, couldn't help but exclaim in astonishment, Life-ending blade. Elder Zhang's life-ending blade. It's the heavenly tier weapon he brought back from Rongbei 3 years ago. No wonder he's so confident, casting 4 major techniques in succession. He has a heavenly tier weapon by his side. Ming Shirin is done for. Once this blade is drawn, someone will die. At this moment, Ming Shirin was immensely shocked. He hadn't expected his opponent to possess possess a heavenly tier weapon. Zhang Qiuqi was not one of the 4 Dark Knights, and he knew the weaknesses of the Blue Wood technique very well. Now with the life-ending blade, how could he possibly stand a chance? Zhang Qiuqi lifted the life-ending blade and quickly approached Ming Shireen, declaring, "Meet your end." With victory seemingly within reach, a triumphant expression appeared on his face. However, just then, a deep voice resonated from the distance. Following that, a separation hook flew across the sky, aiming straight for Ming Shireen. The crowd looked in the direction of the sound, utterly baffled. It was thrown by the master. Why is the master helping the demon? Someone else exclaimed, "What's going on? Did the master intend to kill the demon but mistakenly let the enemy get hold of the weapon?" Zhang Qiuqi couldn't understand the turn of events but was resolved to press on. "I'll deal with the questions later. I must strike now." By now, the separation hook in the air had already landed in Ming Shireen's hands. With the blade infused with raging energy, he slashed down. There was a booming sound, and the intense shockwave from the explosion sent both fighters flying back. After regaining his footing, Zhang Qiuqi was taken aback. How could this little thing block my life-ending blade? As the smoke at the center of the battlefield gradually cleared, Ming Shireen could be seen excitedly caressing the separation hook. Ding! Mastering of separation hook successful. Activation tier, heavenly, awarding 1000 merit points. At the moment of successful mastery, Ming Shireen's eyes became incredibly sharp. In the next second, he drew the separation hook and lunged at Zhang Qiuqi. The energy now emanating from him was several times more powerful than before. He moved with unparalleled speed, leaving afterimages in the sky. The separation hook kept whirling and flipping, each time crashing against Zhang Qiuqi's life-ending blade. Overwhelmed and drained, Zhang Qiuqi could only resort to a defensive stance. From below, Lu Zhou watched the scene with satisfaction. Without the separation hook, Ming Shireen had virtually no chance of defeating Zhang Qiuqi, who had the life-ending blade. The original plan was to temper Ming Shireen's character, as he could sometimes be too provocative, but now seemed like a perfect opportunity. At this moment, Ming Shireen's fighting spirit soared even higher. "Zhang Qiuqi, you used your great mystic arts 4 times in a row. Without the life-ending blade, you would be no match for me." It was then that Zhang Qiuqi realized that the so-called master was the lord of the evil Sky Pavilion. The presence of Ji Tiandao added immense pressure on him. If he wanted to survive, he had to retreat to the protective array of the Green Jade Altar. With that in mind, he changed direction and rushed downwards. However, at this moment, Ming Shireen manifested his 100 Tribulation Insight avatar right in front of him. This time, the avatar was not 2 meters tall, but 3. Under the avatar, a golden lotus petal was clearly unfolding. "Goodbye." A smirk appeared on Ming Shireen's lips. As the words left his mouth, he flashed behind Zhang Qiuqi in an instant. The sharp edge of his blade swiftly moved across Zhang Qiuqi's neck. After the battle, Ming Shireen sheathed his weapon. "I'm sorry, I had already advanced." The masterless life-ending blade fell in front of Lu Zhou. Ding! Target of Nascent Divinity Tribulation Realm eliminated, awarding 1000 merit points. Ding! Heavenly tier weapon, life-ending blade, retrieved. Needs to be refined again before use. Hearing the prompt, Lu Zhou stored the life-ending blade in his storage space. Ming Shireen, filled with excitement, came forward and bowed respectfully to his master. "Thank you, master. I promise to live up to your expectations." The onlookers were utterly baffled by this scene. If there were any doubts before, now it was clear that the old man was none other than the great demon, Ji Tiandao. "What? The master introduced by Duan Xing is the lord of the evil Sky Pavilion?" An exclamation echoed. "Run!" Those who came to their senses scattered in panic. With a smug expression, Ming Shireen turned to little Yuaner, "Little junior sister, when I defeated Zhang Qiuqi in one move, did I not resemble second senior brother?" Little Yuaner gave him a disdainful glance and replied, "I wouldn't know." Little Yuaner looked surprised at the 5th elder, Zhang Chu. "Someone's actually not afraid of master." Zhang Chu stood still, his face expressionless. Observing this, Lu Zhou grew interested. "Aren't you afraid of me? I thought everyone in Orthodox Taoism was as timid as a mouse." Zhang Chu didn't respond and remained motionless. Ming Shireen chuckled slyly. "Master, I haven't had enough fun. How about I kill this one? I guarantee he won't make a sound and will die even faster than Zhang Qiuqi." Lu Zhou shook his head, indicating it wasn't necessary. Killing Zhang Chu is pointless. He's just a small fry. As for Orthodox Taoism, it doesn't make much of a difference. I always admire those with courage. Today, I'll spare your life. Having said that, Lu Zhou turned and approached Bayan. "Let's head back to the evil Sky Pavilion." Watching his master depart atop Bayan, Ming Shireen also sprang into action, bidding farewell. "Safe travels, master. I'll go find 3rd senior brother. I wonder why it's taking him so long in the restroom." After they had been gone for a while, Zhang Chu's lower half began to regain some sensation. By now, he was paralyzed with fear. "That was terrifying," he thought. "The great demon was standing right in front of me." From the bushes behind him, a man dressed in a green robe, Yu Shangrong, emerged. "Master, you seem to have changed a lot," he remarked. Taking a deep sigh, he turned to Zhang Chu and greeted. "Hello." Still shaken, Zhang Chu nodded in response. "I think they didn't mean to scare you." Hearing this, Zhang Chu almost burst into tears. If this wasn't intentional, then what was? This is outrageous. The demon-slaying sect is trying to harm Orthodox Orthodox Taoism. Yu Shangrong smiled faintly. I don't think the old man did it on purpose. What do you think? If you feel offended, I can apologize on his behalf. Zhang Chu frowned upon hearing this, getting slightly annoyed. Who are you to apologize for him? Who do you think you are? However, just as he finished speaking, the long sword behind Yu Shangrong began to vibrate. He drew the sword, sheathed it, and turned to leave. Before anyone could even see the sword's shadow, Zhang Chu's thumb was cleanly severed. The speed was so swift that he didn't even feel the pain initially. The sword's wielder, Yu Shangrong, revealed a modest smile. My apologies for the offense. My name is Yu Shangrong. Farewell. After returning to the Evil Sky Pavilion from Green Jade Altar, Duan Mushing brought Ding Fanqiu with him. Lu Zhou glanced at the trembling Ding Fanqiu. Although this man had impersonated him, he was still a member of the Cloud sect and a 5-leaf nascent divinity tribulation realm cultivator. If Hua Wudao really was to appear at the Evil Sky Pavilion, as Duan Xing had mentioned, to overcome his mental obstacles, then Ding Fanqiu could be of some use. With this thought, Lu Zhou instructed Duan Mushing to take him away. If you see Hua Wudao, have him come to me immediately. Understood, Master, Duan Mushing responded. Lu Zhou then glanced at a female cultivator from Yanyu Palace standing nearby and asked about Yi Tianxin's condition over the past few days. The woman immediately knelt in panic. She's a bit weak, but otherwise fine, Master. Lu Zhou nodded. With Yi Tianxin's constitution, such minor ailments were nothing. He had no plans to take any action against her until the truth of Fish Dragon Village was revealed. He then entered his private chamber and checked his merit points balance, which stood at 6,212. He needed over 1,000 more to purchase a new avatar. Considering the unfinished mission of uncovering the truth about Fish Dragon Village, he still hadn't claimed a substantial reward. Trying his luck, Lu Zhou decided to use some merit points for a draw. Ding! 50 merit points deducted for the draw. Thank you for participating. Luck value increased by 1. Even though he felt another attempt might not yield a reward, Lu Zhou couldn't resist trying one more time. Ding! 50 merit points deducted for the draw. Luck value is now at 8 points. Congratulations! You've obtained the avatar 5 energies converging to the origin avatar. Upon hearing the notification, he was completely dumbfounded. Is this even possible? An avatar that would usually cost 8,000 merit points had been won with just 50 points. After activating it, the 4 symbols avatar was instantly replaced by the 5 energies converging to the origin avatar. His meridians were already interconnected, so when the new avatar was formed, his vital energy surged through his body like a tidal wave, providing an extremely pleasant sensation. Lu Zhou took a deep breath and stretched his limbs. He didn't continue with the draws and instead opened his inventory to see if there were any new items. He discovered a purple treasure chest at the bottom. The description read, a mysterious chest. Price, 2,000 merit points. Limited time offer, 1 day. Lu Zhou was reminded of some Earth games with their microtransactions. This is a typical shady merchant strategy, he mused. However, his gut feeling told him there were valuable items inside. Without hesitation, he purchased the chest. As it materialized in front of him, it appeared just as it did in the system interface. However, after examining it for a moment, Lu Zhou found that there wasn't any obvious way to open it. It seemed sealed shut. Frustrated, he tried to smash it open, but the chest remained undamaged. Feeling a bit speechless, he picked up nearby weapons and began to furiously attack the mysterious chest, creating loud banging noises. Little Yuaner and Ming Shireen, hearing the commotion from the chamber, began to speculate. Maybe the master didn't gain much from his trip to the Fish Dragon Village and is venting his frustration, they guessed. Ming Shireen smirked at Little Yuaner. Little junior sister, do you have some time to practice with my separation hook? Master gave it to me. Little Yuaner's eyes filled with tears of grievance. He's obviously trying to bully me. Seeing her cry, Ming Shireen looked puzzled. Suddenly, a voice from afar belonging to Duan Mushing interrupted. Old Fourth. Great! I heard the master gifted you a heavenly ranked weapon. Come, I've been so eager. Now that you have this powerful weapon, you must be more resilient than before. Come on. Without waiting for a response, he grabbed Ming Shireen and forcibly took him away from the area. Inside the chamber, Lu Zhou stopped his efforts dejectedly. Despite trying various methods, the box remained perfectly intact without even a scratch. What's the point of a box that can't be opened? Did I waste 2,000 merit points? He then remembered his weapon, Nameless. Considering its durability, he wondered how it would fare against the box. With a swift movement, there was a loud bang as Nameless clashed with the mysterious box, creating sparks. First, Lu Zhou checked Nameless and found it undamaged without a scratch. However, the box, while also undamaged, had a small scratch that vanished within a blink of an eye, as if healing itself. Such a peculiar material for the box. If Nameless, which can even slice through the peak earthly ranked weapons of the Black Knight, can't breach it, then the box's material might be stronger than heavenly rank. If the system is selling this box, it surely has a purpose. Rushing won't help. There must be a way. Deciding to let the box matter rest for now, Lu Zhou took out his heavenly writing and began to comprehend its teachings. Meanwhile, at the council hall of the Green Jade Altar in Orthodox Taoism, 5th Elder Zhang Chu narrated the entire series of events to Sect Master Zhang Yuanshan. Sect Master, demon-slaying sects renowned horn booping deliberately lured you away. It was a classic diversion strategy. During your absence, Ji Tiandao took the opportunity to assassinate Elder Zhang. I've always said the demonic path is not trustworthy. Upon hearing this, Zhang Yuanshan's brow furrowed. Are you certain what you saw was Evil Sky Pavilion's Ji Tiandao and the sword demon Yushanrong? Absolutely, Zhang Chu replied firmly. Even if I were to lie, there were many disciples of the Green Jade altar present who can vouch for it. This finger of mine was severed by the sword demon himself. The gathered individuals began murmuring amongst themselves. One of them remarked, "You're still standing after being attacked by the sword demon?" Zhang Chu was about to defend himself when Zhang Yuanshan's voice interjected. There are still many uncertainties regarding this matter. Let's not jump to conclusions prematurely. The matter regarding Zhang Chuqi should be set aside for now. Hearing this, Zhang Chu indignantly retorted, "So, Elder Zhang just dies in vain? What? Do you intend to seek revenge for him?" The rhetorical question silenced the entire hall. Who would dare provoke the Evil Sky Pavilion? Even the 4 top knights of the Divine Dark Division vanished after heading there. Demon-slaying Sex Swishin-chan, the only individual in this era to reach the nascent divinity tribulation realm through demonic meditation, met his end at the Evil Sky Pavilion. Who else would dare confront them? All they could do now was to wait for the day when Ji Tiandao's time would truly come to an end. Then, the Evil Sky Pavilion would naturally cease to exist. Meanwhile, dozens of miles away from Golden Court Mountain in Tangzi Town, a young man anxiously advised, "Master, are you sure you want to go to the Evil Sky Pavilion? It's said that they are wicked demons. What if something happens to you?" Before the young man could finish, the elderly man beside him interrupted with a bitter smile. "For 20 years, I've hesitated many times, sometimes out of fear, sometimes worried about tarnishing Cloud Sec's reputation. Yet, I've also pondered the possibility that perhaps Ji Tiandao has grown old and weak. If I pass on with these unresolved feelings, I would die with regrets." Hua Wudao took a deep sigh. The righteous and demonic paths are mutually exclusive. Were it not for my identity as an elder of the Cloud Sect, I wouldn't have postponed this for so long. You're still young. If you don't understand some matters, it's best not to overthink them. When you reach my age, everything will become clear. Seeing his master's resolve, the young man responded frustratedly, "Disciple genuinely doesn't understand, and doesn't wish to either. Rebellious child, my mind is made up. Do not bring this up again." Hua Wudao gave a cold huff and crushed the teacup in his hand to dust. The waiter from the nearby establishment quickly approached to remind the master, "Your hand is bleeding profusely." Hua Wudao waved him off, indicating he was alright. "Do you have any medicine? It seems like the bleeding won't stop." "It's fine. I just need to lie down for a couple of days, and I'll be okay." In the blink of an eye, 2 days passed. After comprehending the heavenly writing, Lu Zhou felt invigorated and refreshed. He glanced at his system interface and noted his merit points balance, 3,862 points remaining. It seemed that relying on tasks to accumulate merit points was quite slow. That's right, devout worship can also earn merit points. It might be time for my disciples to get involved. Just as he was about to get up, little Yuaner's voice came from outside. "Master, someone at the foot of the mountain wishes to see you." "It's Hua Wudao." Lu Zhou was a bit surprised. "I didn't expect Hua Wudao to come so soon. He has a fear of the strong, yet he still dared to come to the Evil Sky Pavilion. His courage is commendable." Seeing her master emerge, little Yuaner quickly approached. "Master, you look younger again." Raising an eyebrow, Lu Zhou retorted, "Instead of wasting time flattering me, you should focus on your cultivation, and don't pick up habits from your 4th brother." By now, everyone in the main hall had assembled. Duan Musheng, Ming Shirin, Zhou Jifeng, and Pan Zhong were all waiting below. A female cultivator bowed upon Lu Zhou's arrival. "Sect leader, Hua Wudao will arrive shortly." Lu Zhou nodded in acknowledgement. "How is Xiao Yu's introspection going? Has her witchcraft worsened?" Ming Shirin promptly responded, "5th junior sister has been deeply reflecting every day, and there's no sign of worsening." Hearing this, Lu Zhou instructed, "Keep a close watch on her." At that moment, a female cultivator led Hua Wudao and his disciple into the main hall. All eyes instantly turned towards them. Hua Wudao's expression was calm and solemn, neither hurried nor slow. The young man, however, looked noticeably nervous, glancing around as they entered. Reaching the center of the hall, Hua Wudao greeted with a bow. "We meet again." Lu Zhou glanced at him. "Please, have a seat." Without any hesitation, Hua Wudao calmly took a seat. "I intended to visit sooner, but important matters detained me until today." Taking a sip of his tea, Lu Zhou replied indifferently, "You're from Cloud Sect. Since ancient times, the righteous and the demonic have always been at odds. Yet, you boldly come to my Evil Sky Pavilion. Aren't you afraid I might kill you? Perhaps a few years ago, I would have been, but I am not the man I used to be. I have seen through life and death. If I were solely driven by fear, I wouldn't be here today." Hua Wudao responded. Little Yuaner stepped up to the young man and tried to intimidate him. "You're quite brave." The young man took several steps back in a panic. Hua Wudao frowned and scolded, "Idiot, you're disgracing me." Lu Zhou looked at him coldly. "Commendable courage." Hua Wudao calmly responded, "I am wholly devoted to the Tao and my cultivation. The conflicts between the righteous and the demonic have nothing to do with me." Ming Shirin scoffed at this. "Easy for you to say. But after all, you're an elder of the Cloud Sect." Upon hearing this, Hua Wudao gestured dismissively. When I journeyed north, I already resigned from my position as an elder. Many people greatly value reputation and power. Among the three great sects, Cloud, Sky, and Luo, Cloud sect is the foremost. Many covet the position of an elder. Yet, I willingly resigned. Hua Wudao's expression remained calm. I'm getting old and will eventually return to dust. Today, I've come to the Evil Sky Pavilion with no other intention but to resolve an old regret. 20 years ago, I was defeated by Bro G. Since then, my cultivation has stagnated. That event has become a joke among Cloud, Sky, Luo, the three sects, and even among cultivators. It has also been a lingering issue in my heart. Duan Mushing sneered upon hearing this. Why would my master care about the hang-ups in your heart? Hua Wudao continued calmly. The issue began with Brother G, and it is only fitting that it should end with him. For 20 years, I've contemplated the moves Brother G used to defeat me. Ming Shirin rolled his eyes at him. Nonsense. Is Brother G also yours to address so familiarly? Moreover, you've made no progress in 20 years. Did you come to Evil Sky Pavilion just to get beaten up? Hua Wudao paused, realizing his mistake. This is the feared Evil Sky Pavilion. I'm speaking to the foremost demon lord of this era. Addressing him as Brother G is indeed inappropriate. My apologies. Lu Zhou stroked his beard and looked at him indifferently. My disciple might be undisciplined, but his words reflect my own thoughts. Ming Shirin was overjoyed upon hearing this, displaying a smug expression. Hua Wudao didn't let Ming Shirin's attitude bother him. I came to the Evil Sky Pavilion with a single purpose, to resolve my lingering regret. I wasn't a match 20 years ago, and I don't think I am now. If I've lost, then I've lost. If your cultivation has been stagnant because of a personal hang-up, how is that my concern? Do you think Evil Sky Pavilion is a compassionate savior to the world? There was a hint of coldness in Lu Zhou's voice, leaving Hua Wudao speechless. Ming Shirin laughed mockingly. You're simply inferior. Blaming others won't help, even if you resent the Evil Sky Pavilion. The young man beside Hua Wudao, seeing his master being ridiculed, was seething with anger. My master came here with sincerity, yet you insult him like this. This is too much. Ming Shirin chuckled dismissively. What? Speaking the truth is considered bullying now? Hua Wudao chastised the young man. Silence. You've already caused enough embarrassment. Step back. I apologize for my disciple's rudeness. I hope everyone can be understanding. Ming Shirin grew impatient. Enough with the nonsense. Get to the point. Hua Wudao spoke straightforwardly. As I've said, I came to the Evil Sky Pavilion for one reason, to resolve my personal hang-up. Just 3 moves. I need only 3 moves to do it. Lu Zhou seemed to have a moment of realization. The 3 moves from 20 years ago? To be honest, even if that part of my memory wasn't missing, I might not remember. Over the years, I've defeated countless opponents. The fact that I can even recall Hua Wudao's name means I respect him somewhat. How could I remember the specific moves used? Hua Wudao nodded in confirmation. Indeed, back then, I believed I had the strongest protective aura of Dao, but I still couldn't defend against those moves. For 20 years, I've diligently studied, refined, and improved my techniques. Brother G can use any move. I will only defend and not attack. If I can defend, then my mental block will be resolved. If not, I will abandon my cultivation and live in anonymity henceforth. Ming Shirin burst into laughter. You really have no shame. You've spent 20 years researching a turtle shell technique, then you come here asking my master to beat you up, and you claim that by getting beaten, your mental block will be resolved? Honestly, you're the most shameless person I've ever met in my life. Hua Wudao was somewhat at a loss for words. Admittedly, Ming Shirin's remarks made sense. It was indeed a ludicrous proposal. Who in the world would spend 20 years mastering a defensive technique just to request their opponent to attack them? At that moment, Duan Mushing stepped forward, wielding his overlord spear. Hua Wudao, you truly have no shame. How about you give me 10 years? I'll specifically research your defensive technique, and if I can't defeat you after 10 years, I'll read my name. Duan Mushing, backwards. You took 20 years. I'll only need 10. No, even 5 years would do. The young disciple by Hua Wudao's side was visibly distressed. Master, let's just leave. There's no need for this. I've said before, the Evil Sky Pavilion would never take us seriously. Hua Wudao huffed in annoyance. Silence! He then took a step forward and knelt on one knee. I ask for nothing else. I know I'm no match, but I'll regret it for the rest of my life if this mental block isn't resolved. I beg Brother G to help me overcome this obstacle. Seeing this scene, everyone in the main hall was taken aback. There had been people who had come to provoke. There were even times when they faced group assaults, and there had been sneak attacks. But this act of coming and kneeling to request a beating was a first. Hua Wudao once again spoke loudly. I request the pavilion master to enlighten me. Little Yuaner stepped forward and kicked a turtle on the floor, not granting your wish. Leave now. However, Lu Zhou's voice rang out. Hua Wudao, do you truly wish to overcome this mental block? Of course, it's my lifelong wish, and I hope the pavilion master will not hold back. Lu Zhou looked at him with interest. The righteous and the demonic are inherently in opposition. Aren't you afraid that the world will laugh at you for seeking my help? Hua Wudao sighed deeply before replying. In the Great Flame world, there is no clear distinction between righteous and demonic. It's just that some individuals wish to draw a line between us. Hearing this, Lu Zhou nodded. In that case, I grant you this opportunity. Overjoyed, Hua Wudao expressed his gratitude. Thank you for for your generosity. However, I must state beforehand. Firstly, you haven't earned the right to face me directly. Ming Shirin and Duan Mushing will represent me. Only if you can fend them off will you earn that right. Secondly, my time is precious. If you lose, you must agree to a condition I set. Of course, you have the option to refuse. The young disciple felt indignant hearing this. His master held such a revered position in the Cloud Sect, and many respected him. Yet, here in the Evil Sky Pavilion, he faced such humiliation. As he was about to speak up, Hua Wudao cut him off. I brought you here to broaden your horizons, but you dare to interfere in my matters? Seeing his master's anger, the disciple immediately shook his head, indicating his reluctance. If you dare to interfere again, I'll sever our master-disciple relationship, Hua Wudao stated, and then stepped forward. I can agree to your conditions, as long as they do not involve the Cloud Sect. I agree to all other terms. Very well. Lu Zhou stared at him and nodded with a smile. Ming Shirin then stepped out from the side. I'll see on behalf of the master just how strong this so-called turtle technique of yours is. Hua Wudao didn't show any anger. He stood with his hands behind his back, exuding confidence. Please. As he spoke, glyphs floated around him, forming a protective barrier. This technique was called the Six Harmony Seal. It's an extremely complex glyph seal, and very few practitioners can master it to perfection. Hua Wudao's Six Harmony Seal was even more unique. Underneath him appeared a circle of about 2 meters in diameter, resembling the ever-moving Tai Chi symbol. The fact that he could condense his protective chi to this extent demonstrated the fruits of his 2 decades of dedicated cultivation, showcasing his obsession with cultivation. Seeing this move, Ming Shirin's earlier dismissive attitude was replaced with seriousness. He quickly formed his own protective chi, with countless chi symbols flooding the air. These then shot towards Hua Wudao. However, the moment the chi symbols touched the barrier, it expanded rapidly, repelling the symbols and also sending Ming Shirin flying back. He retreated several steps before stabilizing himself. Clearly, the defensive move was successful. Hua Wudao had won. Ming Shirin snorted coldly and summoned his heavenly tier weapon. Again, Separation Hook. Upon seeing this, Hua Wudao's eyebrows furrowed slightly. A heavenly tier weapon? The importance of such a weapon lay in its crucial ability, breaking the chi, which included both the protective chi and avatars. As Ming Shirin swung his weapon, he clashed with Hua Wudao. Numerous afterimages focused on a single point on the barrier, launching a coordinated attack. But the next moment, the 6 characters of the Six Harmony Seal glowed brightly. They merged into one, defending that very spot. The protective chi rebounded again, sending Ming Shirin flying back dozens of meters. The more fiercely he attacked, the stronger the rebound. Seeing his attacks rendered ineffective, Ming Shirin's temper flared. He yelled out in a deep voice, once more. At this point, Duan Mushing, holding his overlord spear, stepped in and blocked him. He looked at Hua Wudao, burning with the desire to fight. Let me handle this. Step back. 100 Tribulation Insight Avatar. Energy formed avatar. As his words fell, a 3 meters tall avatar stood towering in the hall. Under Duan Mushing's control, the avatar did not cause any disturbance to the hall. Lu Zhou calmly watched the scene. Ming Shirin is not one with fierce brute force after all. He emphasizes agility and finesse, redirecting the opponent's force. Facing an opponent hiding within the Six Harmony Seal, he's at a disadvantage. Duan Mushing's swing, hundreds, if not thousands, of spear shadows emerged at once. Seeing this, Hua Wudao's surrounding 6 characters merged once again, preparing for defense. It's no wonder that the Evil Sky Pavilion is renowned. Everyone wields a heavenly tier weapon. Upon contact, a thunderous boom resounded continuously. Countless spear shadows slammed against the shield. The Six Harmony Seal rippled, dimming for a split second, but quickly shone with a golden light. Zhou Jifeng, who was watching from the side, was dumbstruck. The Taoist Six Harmony Seal truly harnesses the essence of nature. It's my first time seeing it used in such a manner. Pan Zhong also echoed in astonishment. Me too. Coming from the Clarity Sect, I'm familiar with the Six Harmony Seal. Everyone prioritizes learning offensive techniques but neglects defense. Today's battle truly broadens my horizons. At this moment, Duan Mushing snorted coldly. Persistent defense will not suffice. As he spoke, the surrounding spear shadows intensified their force. Lu Zhou, standing with his hands behind his back, casually advised, area attacks against the strongest defense are not the most efficient. If you're aiming to target a weak point, then go all out on that strategy. Upon hearing this, Duan Mushing nodded. Thank you for the guidance, master. He then leaped into the air, with countless spear shadows converging into one. Under the enhancement of the 100 Tribulation Insight Avatar, the spear shadows were now indistinguishable. Sky's ultimate technique, he announced, unleashing his move. The spear shadows shot out ferociously towards his opponent. Hua Wudao looked a bit surprised. I didn't expect the disciples of the Evil Sky Pavilion to be this strong. However, this is still not enough. As he spoke, he stepped into a bow stance. The circle beneath him changed form. Outside of the Tai Chi symbol, it expanded again, surrounded by the 8 trigrams. Combining the 8 trigrams with the 6 harmonies, Hua Wudao had ingeniously integrated the technique of the 8 trigrams into the 6 harmony seal. Regardless of the power of his move, just his daring spirit of experimentation was enough to leave spectators in awe. At this moment, countless spear spear shadows converged and struck the six harmonies seal precisely. With the clash of energies, ripples of chi instantly spread in all directions. What a formidable six harmonies seal, someone exclaimed. Even with Mr. Sand's full-blown attack, it remains unshaken. This Hua Wudao truly has a trick up his sleeve. Combining the six harmonies seal with the 8 trigrams pattern, the bizarre defensive power was fully demonstrated. Duan Mushing shouted, "It's not over yet." As he spoke, a thick wave of energy enveloped the Overlord's spear, launching another assault. Hua Wudao responded in a deep voice, "Still not enough." The 6 large characters formed by seal script combined, while the 8 trigrams pattern also rose to merge with the characters. A chaotic mix of chi and sound produced a bizarre sonic wave, resembling a mixed sound technique. It was evident he had anticipated this pinpoint attack. Everyone quickly mobilized their chi to resist the strange sonic wave, except for Lu Zhou, who remained calm and undisturbed. The bizarre sonic onslaught lasted only a few moments before it ceased. Hua Wudao staggered backward, the light circle under his feet dissipating into the air. Duan Mushing, affected by the clash's force, was pushed back 3 steps before stabilizing himself. He looked at his opponent incredulously, not expecting Hua Wudao to withstand that move and only retreat slightly. Hua Wudao also seemed surprised. The 6 characters of the 6 harmonies seal were actually scattered by the thrust of the Overlord spear. I believe no one could break this technique. Before joining the Evil Sky Pavilion, I had more than one nascent Divinity Tribulation Realm practitioner try it. Without exception, none succeeded. I never expected to be pushed back by Duan Mushing. Had you been slightly stronger, that move might have shattered the 6 harmonies seal. He sincerely complimented, "You have admirable skills." Duan Mushing frowned, wanting to challenge another 3 moves, but Hua Wudao shook his head, speaking indifferently, "I admit you are strong, but the 3 moves are over. According to our prior agreement, it should be the Pavilion Master's turn to take action." Duan Mushing wanted to fight again. "I didn't give my all just now. One more move and I can break your 6 harmonies seal." However, Hua Wudao shook his head in refusal. "If I hadn't been momentarily careless, you probably wouldn't have been able to push me back. I only used 50% of the power of the 6 harmonies seal." Upon hearing this, everyone was stunned. 50%? The 6 harmonies seal, which blocked Mr. Sand's powerful attack, was only at half strength? We've never seen such a defensive seal before. At that moment, Lu Zhou slowly descended the steps. "Is this 6 harmonies seal the result of your 20 years of diligent cultivation?" Hua Wudao earnestly responded, "Yes, it is." Lu Zhou spoke calmly, "If I take action, there's a good chance you'll die." Hua Wudao pondered for a moment, then bowed. "Please enlighten me, Pavilion Master. If I unfortunately perish, I'll accept it." "Well then, come out. If you break anything, you'll have to pay for it," Lu Zhou said, walking outside. Hua Wudao and the others followed closely. Although he couldn't sense any chi fluctuations from Lu Zhou and didn't mobilize any chi himself, he didn't dare to be careless. As he took a step, the 8 trigrams pattern appeared under his foot. The surrounding characters, heaven, earth, life, death, water, and fire, flashed with dazzling golden light. Their aura was even stronger than before. And that wasn't all. The words existence and void appeared on his palms, making 8 golden seal script characters in total. As the chi intertwined, all the seals revolved around these 8 characters. Unexpectedly, given the previous situation, he still had hidden strength. The 6 harmonies seal evolved into the 8 harmonies seal, combined with the 8 trigrams. Seeing this, Duan Mushing couldn't help but frown. He wasn't boasting. He really only used half of his strength earlier. "I wonder if Master can break this move." After preparing, Hua Wudao made a gesture inviting Lu Zhou to make his move. At this moment, Lu Zhou discreetly pulled out a talisman card. With a swift motion, he slashed with his right hand. The card, glowing with golden light, shattered in his grasp. The next second, a violet vortex appeared in the sky above. A thick lightning bolt suddenly enlarged, enveloped in chi, and descended from the heavens. Everyone who witnessed the scene was stunned in place. It's the Thunder Seal. How is this possible? I've followed the Master for many years and have never seen him use this move. Hua Wudao's eyes turned blood red as he desperately tried to defend, but the 8 harmonies seal around him hardly had a chance to form. With a loud bang, his protective barrier was instantly shattered and disappeared without a trace. What was even more terrifying was that his protective technique seemed to have had no effect. Hua Wudao spat out blood and collapsed to the ground. Lu Zhou shook his head. The Thunder Seal card triggered a 10% chance to critically injure the target. "I'm not sure if you're lucky or unlucky, but avoiding the 1% chance of a lethal blow, I suppose you're fortunate in that respect. In any case, being injured or even critically wounded is better than being dead. Let's talk inside." Without another glance, Lu Zhou returned to the main hall. Little Yuan waved her fist at the disbelieving young man. "You break, you pay. If you don't, we'll beat you up." Trembling, Hua Wudao entered the hall. The atmosphere inside was eerily quiet. Duan Mushing was both astonished and increasingly frustrated. He couldn't even withstand one move from his master, yet he himself couldn't shake the 6 harmonies seal in the slightest. Ming Shirin began to ponder wildly. Ever since their master forced the top 10 experts to retreat, he knew the master had many cards up his sleeve. But how many? No one knew. Little Yuan looked at the master with an expression of worship. Pan Zhong and Zhou Jifeng swallowed hard, still recovering from their shock. It wasn't surprising that Hua Wudao was defeated by the pavilion master. What was surprising was the use of the thunder seal. As the name suggests, when qi is condensed into a seal, the qi becomes mighty. Once it reaches a certain realm, it can be as powerful as lightning, an extremely rare and fearsome technique. Long ago, the thunder seal had disappeared, and nowadays, it only existed in historical records. No one truly mastered it, let alone expected to see it in reality. Hua Wudao knelt on one knee, bitterness evident in his heart. It was the thunder seal, after all. The young man quickly tried to rush over to assist him, but Hua Wudao waved him off, signaling him not to come. Being defeated by the method of the thunder seal was something he hadn't anticipated. If he had known that Ji Tiandao possessed such a technique, why would he have come to the Evil Sky Pavilion to humiliate himself? In the end, it was indeed ironic. It wasn't frightening for the weak to lose. What was terrifying was losing without dignity. Lu Zhou shook his head in resignation. If you say it's the thunder seal, then let it be. Perhaps precisely because no one else knows it, it's confirmed as the thunder seal in their minds. Struggling, Hua Wudao stood up, coughing a few times. I originally thought that after 20 years of painstaking research, this technique could withstand 3 of your moves. Unfortunately, I was so wrong. Completely wrong. I lost in just 1 move, let alone 3. After mocking himself, he spat out another mouthful of blood. I came here to resolve my inner turmoil, but it seems that the turmoil has become even more severe. He recovered slightly, then bowed. I'm willing to admit defeat. As long as the Cloud Sect is not implicated, I agree to any other conditions. Seeing his straightforwardness, Lu Zhou spoke directly. I have a question for you. Answer truthfully. Who is the mastermind behind the scenes of the Fish Dragon Village? Hearing this question, Hua Wudao's eyes widened in shock, hesitating and seemingly unwilling to answer. Seeing this, Lu Zhou raised an eyebrow. What? Not willing to talk? Hua Wudao looked conflicted. It's not that I don't want to say it, but once I do, it will implicate many. Little Yuaner pointed at him and angrily rebuked. What's wrong with you? Since you've lost, you should admit it honestly. Ming Shirin sneered at Hua Wudao. You are, after all, an elder of the Cloud Sect. Even if your words aren't treated as the ultimate truth, they should at least carry some weight. Is this flip-flopping behavior characteristic of the righteous sects? Disgusting. Zhou Jifeng thought of a roundabout way. Elder Hua, I might have a solution. It's clear that the answer to this question is crucial. In that case, you only need to tell Master alone. Yes, Pan Zhong added. Hua Wudao, caught between a rock and a hard place, furrowed his brows in contemplation. Duan Mushing stabbed the ground with his overlord's spear, radiating a chilling killing intent. If you keep mumbling and hesitating and refuse to speak, then leave your lives behind. Hua Wudao sighed deeply, answering seriously. I made a promise not to reveal this matter to anyone. If possible, Master, please ask another question. Upon hearing this, Ming Shirin's temper flared up instantly. Damn it. You can even break a promise to my master and yet have the audacity to talk about it? At this point, Lu Zhou shook his head and spoke. It's fine. I give you 2 choices. Either reveal the mastermind behind Fish Dragon Village or join my Golden Court Mountain. The position of the elder in the Evil Sky Pavilion will be yours. Hearing this, everyone exchanged surprised glances, looking at him in astonishment. Lu Zhou admired Hua Wudao greatly. After all, being able to withstand the attacks of Duan Mushing and Ming Shirin indicated his profound mastery in the 6 Union Seal technique. Though it might be the turtle shrink technique, when used correctly, it could be both offensive and defensive. Hua Wudao had yet to use the 100 Tribulation Inside Avatar, wanting to save his strength for the 2nd and 3rd moves. Unfortunately, he was defeated and injured before he could make his move. More crucially, this man had no distinction between right and wrong in his heart and acted according to his conscience. Hearing the 2 options, Hua Wudao was stunned on the spot. Originating from the Cloud Sect, if he were to step into the path of the dark side, his reputation would be ruined, which was a minor concern. The major concern was that the Cloud Sect might be ridiculed by practitioners worldwide. However, he couldn't reveal that secret either. He was truly caught in a dilemma. Lu Zhou calmly looked at him. This is the biggest concession I can make. Ming Shirin started to press. You've already left the Cloud Sect. What's holding you back? Although I don't think highly of your turtle shrink technique, when the master speaks, we naturally have no objections. Besides, the Evil Sky Pavilion is declining. With the infusion of fresh blood, it might restore its former glory. As he pondered this, he stealthily glanced at his master. It didn't seem like his master was nearing his end. On the contrary, he appeared more active and full of vitality. Seeing that Hua Wudao was still hesitating, Lu Zhou grew impatient. 2 choices, pick one. In this world, you're the first to receive such treatment in the Evil Sky Pavilion. My patience is limited. I need an answer within a few moments. Hua Wudao's heart raced as he bowed deeply. What if I have no answer? Before Lu Zhou could reply, Ming Shirin preemptively said, then, just like Fan Xiuwen, you'll be imprisoned in the Evil Sky Pavilion until you figure things out. Of course, since you seem indifferent to life and death, we in the Evil Sky Pavilion may not have much, but we have plenty of places to stay. The eastern, southern, western, and northern pavilions, the hillside, numerous old residences, and the Penance Cave in the back mountain. It's cold, and don't even think about escaping. The barrier around Golden Golden Court Mountain can't be broken, even if the 10 top experts tried together. By then, I will notify all the practitioners in the world, saying that Hua Wudao of the Cloud Sect doesn't keep his word, came to the evil Sky Pavilion, made a bet, lost, and refused to accept the loss. Hua Wudao, at a loss for words, responded, many know of my visit to the evil Sky Pavilion. Otherwise, I wouldn't have needed to resign from my position as elder of the Cloud Sect. It began with the root cause, and if it ends with it, there will be no regrets. Little Yuan grinned at him. I'll start counting now. 987654321. Speak up. What's your decision? Did you really count that fast? Hua Wudao hadn't even had time to think when the countdown finished. He shook his head and sighed. Fine then. Seeing this, the young man behind him quickly knelt down. Master, no. Hua Wudao didn't reprimand him as before, but instead sighed deeply. Go back to Cloud Sect. From now on, you are no longer my disciple. There are many elders in the Cloud Sect. Someone will teach you. When you get back, tell them Hua Wudao is dead. The young man wanted to say something, but Hua Wudao's gaze suddenly became extremely sharp. I said, leave. The young man trembled with fear and hastily disappeared into the hall. My disciple is a bit naive. I hope you can forgive him and spare his life, Hua Wudao said to Lu Zhou. Lu Zhou smiled faintly. Different paths lead to different ends. Have a seat. When the master spoke that word, it was something that had almost never happened in the evil Sky Pavilion. This further proved how much he valued Hua Wudao. You'd rather join the evil Sky Pavilion than reveal the mastermind behind the Fish Dragon Village? Hua Wudao paused. Please understand. Aren't you afraid I might torture you for answers? Lu Zhou probed. If it comes to that, I would rather die, Hua Wudao replied. Ding. Acquired a new subordinate. Nascent Divinity Tribulation Realm. Hua Wudao. Loyalty. 5%. Lu Zhou glanced at the prompt and nodded approvingly. You're different from Fan Zhouwen. He was controlled by others and didn't fear death. You're luckier than him. Shou Jifeng and Pan Zhong tactfully bowed. Greetings, Elder Hua. Hua Wudao's face turned red, slightly overwhelmed. Ming Shirin chuckled. Aren't you just afraid of being mocked by the world? That's easy to solve. From now on, you can have a new name. The old Hua Wudao can be said to have died in the evil Sky Pavilion. One more or less won't matter. How about Hua Wu, or maybe Wu Hua? Hua Wudao wasn't in the mood to fuss about it. It's just a name. Call me whatever. Right now, my mind is in turmoil. I just want some peace. Little Yuaner walked over with a messenger bird. Master, it's a letter from Jianai Jian. Lu Zhou didn't let her read it out loud, but instead took it from her. He had a feeling that this letter was very important and should not be read aloud. After opening and reading it, the letter revealed the mastermind behind the Fish Dragon Village is the current second prince. The main culprit in the Du-Tian River battle is General Wei Zhuoyan of Changning, assisted by the leader of the Black Cavalry, Fan Zhouwen. Elder, to obtain this clue, I suffered great losses. Honestly, if there isn't a good sword to compensate, I'd be very upset. After reading, Lu Zhou calmly crushed the letter. With this information, everything was clear. In fact, when both Fan Zhouwen and Hua Wudao were reluctant to mention it, he had already guessed. Jianai Jian's letter just confirmed his suspicions. Little Yuaner curiously asked, Master, what did the letter say? Lu Zhou didn't hide it. It talked about the mastermind behind the Du-Tian River battle. Upon hearing this, Hua Wudao staggered and fell to the ground, his face pale. This is a huge blow. Little Yuaner, seeing this, asked in confusion, it's just a mastermind. Why is everyone so nervous? Is it that exaggerated? Lu Zhou remained silent. For an ordinary person or a great cultivator, this matter would be simpler, and they would follow the rules of the cultivation world. However, he didn't expect it to involve a prince. The power struggles of the princes should have nothing to do with ordinary people. The stability of the Great Yan dynasty is based on the royal family. Whether it's the soldiers guarding the borders or the cultivators operating in the shadows, they are all pillars of the dynasty's stability. No wonder Hua Wudao didn't want to mention this name. After contemplating, Lu Zhou ordered, tell Jianai Jian that I have prepared a good sword for him. He can come and collect it. Little Yuaner pouted. He only sent 2 pieces of inexpensive information, and Master wants to gift him such a good weapon. I haven't received anything like that. Lu Zhou frowned slightly. Impudent. I've said this more than once. That weapon originally belonged to the royal family. It's of no use to me keeping it. Little Yuaner, seeing her master's anger, quickly apologized. Lu Zhou then slowly got up and headed towards the secret chamber. After he left, Ming Shirin started to comfort little Yuaner. Little junior sister, why are you so impatient? Master always dotes on you the most. Even I have a weapon. How could he forget you? My separation hook is so good. The one for you will definitely be no less. Duan Mushing caressed his overlord's spear. Old Fourth is right. With your talent, you will sooner or later advance to the nascent divinity tribulation realm. By then, the master will surely give you a weapon even better than my overlord's spear. Little Yuaner didn't listen to the two of them, turned around angrily, and left the hall. Ming Shirin and Duan Mushing looked at each other in confusion. At this time, Pan Zhong stepped forward to explain, Mr. Nine, she got jealous after seeing the separation hook and overlord spear. Noticing the somewhat hostile glances from the two, he quickly made an excuse and hurriedly left. Oh no, Mr. 3, Mr. 4, I just remembered that I haven't mastered the 6 yang technique. I must leave now. Immediately after, Duan Mushing grabbed Ming Shirin. Old Fourth, let's go. Train with me. Upon entering the secret chamber, Lu Zhou's gaze gaze remained fixed on the mysterious box. If even Nameless can withstand it, it shows that heavenly-grade weapons are ineffective against it. This box should only be opened with a special key. Old Fourth has many ideas. Maybe I should let him handle this box. Since it's a box purchased from the system store, I'm not worried about others coveting it. Deciding on this, Lu Zhou turned his attention away from the box and looked at the system. The remaining merit points value was 4,726. The 5 energies converging to the origin avatar was obtained through a lottery, and the selling price of the hexagram separation and convergence avatar was 12,000. He couldn't afford it. At this rate, it might be impossible to accumulate enough merit points. He could only take things one step at a time. He then opened the heavenly writing and began to contemplate. 3 hours later, little Yuan arrived outside the secret chamber with a messenger bird. Master, Jian Ijian has replied. Upon hearing the voice, Lu Zhou was roused from his contemplative state. Compared to his previous experiences with the heavenly book, it now felt as if he had entered a state of deep immersion and emptiness. The unfamiliar characters were already imprinted in his mind. With a single thought, each character would appear. If he didn't understand them, it was fine as long as the feeling was right. Little Yuaner then read the contents of the letter aloud. He said he can't come. The evil sky pavilion is too dangerous. It would be best if someone could deliver the sword to him. He's really taking himself too seriously. Why don't I go to Runan and drag him here? Lu Zhou shook his head and walked out of the secret chamber. I expected this. He values his life too much to come in person. Little Yuaner, hands on her hips, huffed. He thinks too highly of himself. Lu Zhou replied calmly, Jian Ijian is no ordinary man. If he can access palace records, how could he be ordinary? Upon hearing this, little Yuaner's face showed curiosity. Who is he then? Someone who follows his heart is no ordinary person, Lu Zhou responded. He then headed towards the north tower where prisoners were held. In a short while, he arrived at the place where Fan Xiuwen was imprisoned. 2 female cultivators were guarding the door. Seeing the pavilion master, they immediately bowed in respect. Standing with his hands behind his back, Lu Zhou ordered, open the door. The 2, upon receiving the command, swiftly opened the door. Lu Zhou then entered the dim and damp room. This place was originally where the evil sky pavilion stored miscellaneous items, making it an ideal place for holding prisoners temporarily. Fan Xiuwen was currently tied to a pillar in the center, having lost all the demeanor he once had as the leader of the Black Riders. He chuckled. If the evil sky pavilion only has this much capability, I'm afraid it's not enough to make me tell the truth. Lu Zhou looked at him calmly. I already know the truth. Upon hearing that statement, Fan Xiuwen was visibly shocked. Impossible. General Chang Ning. Lu Zhou uttered these characters without mentioning the second prince. After hearing this, Fan Xiuwen's eyes widened and cold sweat began to pour. It took him a moment to compose himself. I submit. Lu Zhou shook his head, looking at him indifferently. Wei Zhuoyan wasn't enough to make you bow down. The second prince wasn't enough to earn your unwavering loyalty either. So, there must be someone else who can control the esteemed leader of the Black Riders. Upon hearing this, Fan Xiuwen's emotions surged again. He asked agitatedly, how did you manage to find out? Why would I report my methods to a prisoner of lower status? Lu Zhou replied coolly, I'm curious about who you take orders from. Fan Xiuwen answered with a dark expression, I don't know. Do you think if you don't say it, I won't know? Whoever it is, if they can make you so obedient, they must be a trusted confidant of the second prince. A woman, right? A woman skilled in witchcraft? This completely shattered Fan Xiuwen's psychological defenses. He began to struggle hysterically. Enough. I beg you to spare her. Who would believe that the once #1 on the blacklist, and now a lapdog for the royal family, who fears neither death nor torture, is only trying to protect a woman? Lu Zhou shook his head and spoke. Fan Xiuwen, tell me, who is she? Fan Xiuwen gave a bitter smile in response. I can't tell you. Even if I die, I won't say. In reality, the identity of the target was already clear. The difference between telling and not telling was negligible. Why then would Fan Xiuwen choose to hide it, even at the risk of death? Just as Lu Zhou was pondering, a sudden crimson glint flashed in Fan Xiuwen's eyes. At that exact moment, a female cultivator from Yinyu Palace hurriedly ran in to report. Palace Master, there's been an incident with Mr. 5. Lu Zhou's gaze remained fixed on Fan Xiuwen. Hearing the news from outside, he muttered internally, a pity. Then he turned and quickly left the room. Outside, little Yuaner, with an anxious look on her face, urged her master, hurry, master, 5th sister has gone mad. The door closed behind them, plunging the room into darkness. Once more, a crimson light flashed in Fan Xiuwen's eyes.